friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time, and I'm here to cover that most asked question that I've been getting for years, plus a couple of more. And the reason I do a new video like this every year is because the reasons for my answer, even though the answer is still the same, they have changed slightly. So I like to give people a video I can link them back to when they ask me this question, so I don't have to explain everything in comments all the time. So the number one most asked questions is, will you write a book or have you written a book? And my answer to the first part is no, I have not written a book. And the answer to the second part is probably still no. I have no intentions of writing a book anytime soon, and it may very likely never happen. And while I understand people's desire for hard copies, and I think hard copies are important, there's many other people out there that have some great books on various different topics. One that I bring up quite a bit is Amy Fuel. Even though she has a YouTube channel, her main area is writing, and she has a couple of great books out already. And one is the Homesteader's Herbal Companion, and the other is the Homesteader's Chicken Guide. I'm going to say that wrong, but I have both those books, and they are great books, great resources to have on hand. But for me, that is not my direction. My direction right now is making videos, and making videos for both YouTube and for Rumble is already a full-time job. And let's put on top of that the fact that I do still have a garden that I'm tending to. I still have all the things I make from scratch for us. And the big one is I am still watching grandbabies several days a week. And what started out to be just one grandbaby 3 days a week is now 3 grandbabies up to 4 days a week. So I'm putting even more time into taking care of my grandchildren than I did when I first started watching them. They are a priority to me, especially in this day and age. I need to make my family more of a priority than writing a book. And let me also cover the fact that at this point, the desire for writing a book is simply not there. However, what I do offer as time allows is just like now, for the past couple of years, anytime I put a recipe video out now, be it a medicinal type recipe or a food recipe, I have been taking that extra time to type up the recipes and add them in the description box in a link form, because I have over on Patreon, which is free and open to everyone. I don't monetize anything. Nobody has to donate even a cent. They can still access my content there. My Patreon link is always in the description box. You can go in there and you can just scroll through and see what kind of things I have. If you're looking specifically for recipes, just type in the word recipe and it will pull up a recipe of anything I have, be it a food recipe or a medicinal recipe, anything I have so far. So I don't have all my recipes out there because a lot of them are still just up here. So that is what I am offering right now, and it's free. And that's the great thing, is you don't even have to pay for it. You can just go over there, you can print it off, copy and paste into your own document, whatever you want to do. And like I've explained in the past, one of the other reasons I don't like the idea of writing a book is that I'm constantly changing the way I do things. And once a book's been written and published, I can't go back and change it. I'd have to do a revised version, and I just don't want to do that. It's so much easier, quicker, and more convenient and more fun for me to do videos. And so that's what I do. I keep you updated in my Monday. If I make any changes, I'll either put it in a short form or I'll talk about it in a Monday this and that video, and that way I can just keep you updated on some of the changes and different things I'm doing and trying and so on. And here's another thing that people need to remember is, I know there's a lot of content creators out there that have been putting out books, but you also have to realize that each content creator is going to be different in not just what they desire to do, but the other demands that they have to deal with in their life. And they're going to all have different priorities. So you can't go to channel and expect every channel to do exactly the same thing and have all exactly the same priorities. And though I know some people just really, really want me to write a book, and I appreciate that, there's also some people that can be very demanding about it. And it just puts extra pressure on me that I really don't need. So I just want people to understand and respect the fact that At this time, the answer is no, and it will probably stay no for at least quite several more years until things change, if they ever do. Who knows? By the time my grandbabies don't need to be taken care of, there could be other projects I've taken on, or maybe we've moved out to that expanded piece of property and now we have sheep and chickens and a garden and so on. But again, know that not only do you have the videos for now, you can still go get the written copies of various things that I offer. People also talk about, well, how about, since you're recording videos anyway, have the voice to text? No, not doing that either. That would still require a lot of editing, and I don't need that too. I'm already putting a lot of time into just editing videos. I don't need to also edit a text form of the same thing. That's just not going to work. That I just don't have the time for that. So yes, just to sum it up, if I did ever make a choice to write a book, video content creating would have to go. Something I would have to give up. And I'm not going to give up watching my grandbabies. And at this point, I don't want to give up making videos. I enjoy it too much. And the other two questions are kind of related. And that is, I get asked frequently if I sell any of my homemade medicinal products or any of the dried herbs that I put up. And the answer is no, I do not sell those. The most I do with my dried herbs is I will use them for barter for local friends and other people that have something to offer that I'm interested in, but I only do that locally, because if I was to advertise that here on YouTube, I would get so swamped with people wanting to order dried herbs from me. And I know this because I used to have an Etsy store. It was hard just to keep up on the things we were putting on in there. And there's no way I can produce enough herbs and all the time dehydrating to be able to meet everybody's demands as well as our own. And also the fact that I would have to charge far more than companies that are already doing that, like Frontier Co-op. And they're usually getting their herbs from other places that's what they do. Maybe they focus on just putting up turmeric, or they focus on putting up oregano and thyme and rosemary. They're able to do that in such a large volume that they can sell those things for a lot less than I could, because the amount of time it takes to harvest them, dehydrate them up, and then package them up. There's packaging that's got to be included in this as well. All this stuff takes time and money, and that has to be included into the cost. And so I would have to charge far more. You'd be money ahead just looking up some good organic companies. Like Anthony's has a lot of organic products, and they're putting out more and more herbs. And then Frontier Co-op is my other go-to place for that. And then sometimes a few other companies. I just try to look for the ones that aren't getting their stuff from China. And then along with that is the skirts. So we're going to come back to the skirts. I get asked about the skirts and aprons a lot. And as a lot of you know, have been following me for the last several months, you know that I have a knee injury and I have a treadle machine. And so I had to take a break from sewing altogether for a while. Now I can do some, especially with if I use just my right leg, but it takes me a lot longer to sew with just one leg because I'm short, I have little feet, I really can move fast when I'm putting both feet into it. And considering the fact that this injury started developing when I got back into full steam ahead making the skirts and aprons, and that was how it started to develop, and then I tore it badly later on and made it 10 times worse. And now I know it's going to take at least a good year for it to heal up completely. It's doing better all the time, but it's taking a long time, especially because I still have work to do. I still have things to get done, and I keep kind of doing 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and then 2 steps forward and then 1 step back. And so it's very likely I won't get serious back into making the skirts again. I do have like 4 or 5 of them cut out and ready to put together that I may, once I feel good enough about it, I may start working on those a little bit at a time and then just get them sold. But then I'm going to be done with it after that, because it's come to the point now with the rising cost of fabrics and my limited time and really needing my knee to be in good shape so I can do my gardening and more around here and keep up with my grandbabies. Just like with the soaps I used to make and sell, it's just going to be something I'm going to have to cut, because I just am not going to have the time to keep producing these things at such a high volume like I once was before the grandbabies started coming along. So I just want you to understand, I know that's going to be a letdown for those people who are really looking forward to buying a skirt, but remember, I have a whole series just on the patchwork skirts alone on how to make your own. I started with a real simple, just throwing it together. Then as I started changing the way I did things and making them a little better, like adding pockets, changing the way I lay out the fabric so it looks even nicer on the skirt. A whole series out there. Oh, and how to tailor the size to suit you or to make it fit children. So I will link to that full series down below. So if you have even the minor sewing skills on a sewing machine or even sewing by hand, you can do this. It's not that hard, but it still takes time. And again, fabrics can be pretty expensive. And I have not been able to get my hands on a lot of good quality fabrics at garage sales like I used to. Ever since 2020 and having grandbabies, I just haven't even had time to do garage sales anymore. I hope this covers a few things and helps you all understand where I'm coming from. Just know I'm going to keep doing YouTube and Rumble for as long as I'm able, and I'll keep putting that information out there, and whatever I don't already have written recipes and lists on, remember, you can always take notes. And in most cases, closed caption is enabled. I never disable closed caption, but for some weird reason, I know there's a few of my videos where it's not out there. It's not available, and I have no idea why. It's nothing I've done. It's some weird glitch for whatever reason why it's not available. I really don't know why. So you can always pause, slow down the video, play it at a slower speed so you can keep up better if you're having to write it down or type it up, whatever it is. And I'll do what I can to keep providing some written information to make it easy on everyone as I'm able. All right, well, thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.